Good morning, brothers and sisters. Today's Sunday, December the 29th. I just want to give a little bit of update on our what we've been doing in the backyard, and hope everybody's doing well and focus on the Lord, not on the world's problems. So let me go show you first up here in the front. See what we did. Just been moving a lot of dirt around. So what I did right here, I dug these steps and we were pulling from here, all that area for this bed, make it square right there, and then that dirt and even that for that bed, and I stopped right there. So I put those in, and I'll tell you what I did with all that dirt right now. Over here, our plants are growing. They were tiny like that little one. So it's getting big. Got some new ones that my neighbor gave me. And some nopales. I had some dirt right there also, like a berm like that. I took that all off. And all that compost, not compost, the ground covering there. Those piles, I brought them in from the back because we changed the back. So where we had put that in the back on the floor, I had to move it all to the front now because you can't put soil on top of that stuff. So I removed it. So let's go to the back now. See, our nopales are growing. Nopales, our apple tree. She gave good apples this year. It's time for winter time. Hopefully in springtime she'll give some good apples. And all that dirt from that, all the dirt from that area right there, I took it over here. One wheelbarrow at a time. So I started lifting the ground from right about here. Right about here. All this has been lifted. The drain that was right there, what I did was it comes across right there about 40 feet up to about right here where the flower pot is. And initially I was gonna go like from here straight out to make a big hole in the easement, but I decided to make the big hole right there in the corner. So it's about 32 inches deep and about maybe, I don't know, at least 16 inches wide by about 24 inches, like an oval. And pretty much the perimeter of the bricks where you see that brown gravel, that's as big as the hole is. And I filled up the hole with like 16 bags of gravel, 50-pound bags. So that's that right there. So it's like what did my nephew call it? A French drain. So over here, this is what we've been just giving a touch up. What I want to do is I'm tired of the dirt falling into the pit. Well, it doesn't go a lot, but a little bit. But right there, it was, and it would cascade down right here, and all this area was all kind of more dirt than rocks. It was kind of looking like that, but worse. I mean, you couldn't even see any rocks anymore. So I had to dig out a bunch of rocks, wash them, and then bought some more rocks to mix them up. So what we're gonna do there with that, we're gonna make a little table. So when we would put the Weber there on the bottom, it wasn't high enough. So now we'll put the paver tops on top, and then we'll paint it like that. So today, hopefully, we'll paint them. And those are the paver tops right there. They're basting in the sun, ready for paint. So I'll paint those tan, and then so it'll look like that, brown and tan. It'll look good. And then over here, what we've been working on is this, because I wanted to make that look good like that also. But when it rains, the majority of the water, believe it or not, naturally goes that way, because that's why I built it that way. Because when I first got the house, the majority of the rain off the roof was hitting like from about, it hits this whole area, obviously, but the majority of the rain was going in that natural direction. So all I did was followed whatever the rain was doing, and that's what you should do. For me, it works for me. Just see what the rain does, and when it rains, and see what the water does. And the water doesn't really go into the pit, so this will help it to retain. And my wife gave me an idea, but I haven't decided to do it yet. But probably do a dry pour also there on this rectangle. So pretty much, up to there. But I haven't decided yet, because I need to see what the rain's gonna do. I wanted to just put this dirt bermed up against there, up against the brick, and have a natural downhill grade. But I haven't decided yet. Maybe later on I'll do another dry pour like that. On a dry pour, I learned it from these folks on YouTube, is you're not mixing the cement ahead of time. What you're doing is you're getting your area where you want to put the cement, and you just pour all the cement in there in the bags, as many as you need, and then you level it off. You level it off till it's where you want it, you work it, and then you just start spraying water on it. And it worked. It's worked. It hasn't cracked, hasn't moved. It's been there for over a year, so I think for what we need it for, not a heavy traffic, weight per se, it doesn't matter. We're just walking through there. And I guess eventually I'll paint it, but haven't got to that point yet either, whether I want to paint it or not. Another thing we did over here, we've been lifting this soil, and we got blessed, or so did the lady. There was a woman that we found on Marketplace that had purchased, she just needed to fill a little spot, not too big, and the people that she bought the soil from, they sold her like 10 yards, and it was blocking her whole entire driveway. So when we went to pile, I'm not kidding you, it was about 7 feet tall, and she had already knocked some of it off. But my son and I and my wife, we did 4 full loads, and based on the cubic square feet of the truck, it holds 2 yards. So we did 8 yards. So there's like a yard and a half right there, And then from about that point all the way to that drain is the other, whatever, 6.5 or so yards. So all this had a fence, and we had a, what do you call it, that fence, which is now piled up in the corner. We moved the beds out of there, put them over there on the side of the house, and then all the, what is that stuff called, mulch. I always get mulch and the ground covering. I don't know why. The ground covering, basically. All the ground covering that was there, I had to take it all out. I took out about 90% of it out. I couldn't get all of it out because it was already blending with the sand in the bottom. And it seemed pretty hard to me by the rake. You know, there was nothing loose clumps anymore. So hopefully it's not going to pose a problem. I'm hoping that whatever soil that we do put is going to push it down. I mean, it's not like it has inches of the ground cover. So yeah, that's what we've been working on. I haven't done anything with that yet. I was slowly leveling it. But I want to see if it's going to rain, because I need that dirt to finish any imperfections over here. So I'm going to leave it there for a bit. So today we're going to paint. We're going to paint the bricks and the tops, but I don't think I'm gonna glue it on there today yet, because my wife was saying, I wonder how it would look even a little bit higher to serve as a table. But it's a good idea. The only thing about it is that I don't want it taken away from the look. I want to be able to see. I don't want this big old table standing there, you know, like that. You know, I want to be able to, I don't know, I guess I'll find out how many people trip over it first. So what I'll do is, once I get it complete, I'll put the Weber on there, and then also the barbecue or the fireplace tools on there, so hopefully people can see that they're there and that they won't fall over them. Anyways, have a blessed day, all, and keep your eyes on the Lord. It's going to be the end of the year soon, and keep your eyes up and keep your eyes focused on the good Lord Jesus Christ only, and not the things of this world. For the things of this world are going to be the things of the world.